Tuesday the 8th of July, 2:05 in the afternoon. Noman healing update. So if this is released, it will be on another YouTube account because I got a refund for the Huawei phone that I bought after the arrest. I bought this Lenovo tablet for $14.99, which, although it's slow, I'm managing to work with it, and I can have the radio and my audio books and the internet. And I released a Devo comedy sketch, Devo tribute. Then I reset the device. I'm always managing, or mostly managing, my intrusive thoughts. I reset the device, so now I have another YouTube account. I'm planning to return to my original YouTube account when I can access when I have my phone back from Humberside Police or the mental health services if it's been handed over to them. But I closed the door on Cypher because this is how I believe the treatment works. You're sort of captured by the services for as long as they can hold you, and then you've obviously got to fight for your life to get away from them, or to have enough distance to sort of make sure that you're not placed on a section like a section 2 or a section 3 or even an informal admission. You obviously want to take the treatment and get well, but for me, I want to make sure that I'm not contained in a unit, either informally or on a section, that I'm not medicated. I'm happy to consider medication in the future if and when I have the correct financial support and diagnoses that suit who I am. So I know I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD. I'm not far from Town End Court, and I could just walk there and do some screaming in the car park, and it would be therapeutic, but I'm choosing my moves at the moment, and I've let off some steam to the mental health services and the police, and it's just an ongoing battle. And then it's like, well, you're only fighting with yourself. My friend / associate was unable to lend me any more money, but he kindly lent me 2 toilet rolls which I have in my bag. And I'm just fed up. I let off some more steam. I might just walk into Town End Court and then walk out. Probably not classed as threatening behaviour. I'm just fucking pissed off. Yes, I let off some more steam at my neighbours. And I'm just so fed up because I've obviously been fighting against an evil system who tortured the fuck out of me as a child and forced me to do evil things as an adult, including raping my girlfriend, otherwise they were going to kill my little brother. And I'm just fed up. and it just puts so much pressure on you. And I don't want to get in the way of my treatment. And I also don't want to be... I don't like the way the systems work. I understand how strict the systems are. I'm just fed up. Yeah, I might go in, I might not shout, but I might ring the buzzer and say something through the buzzer. I might shout, stop it now. I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to walk. No, I might do myself a favour and I might not go to Town End Court and maintain my dignity. Because my energy, pardon me, I've done enough healing work and fighting for justice work and taking the hits in this war to stay alive and receive support. I've done enough work to change the trajectory of my life. I have my preparation week at Hull College next week, and I think the first day is on the 16th, which is when I get paid. But with my Monzo account, I can access my money the day before. So I'll probably be able to access my money Monday or Tuesday instead of Wednesday the 16th. But now I have a week to... This is good because I'm expressing myself. I have a week without any money. I have enough food for 3 days at a stretch. I can use the food bank again. But last time I was in the food bank, I was a bit of a dick. And I don't like one member of staff at the food bank who I think is a manager in Jubilee Central, and another member of staff at the food bank at the Well. And I just feel misunderstood. So last time it was like, oh, I probably won't need to use you again. And then if I go back and have to see him, or they maybe get rejected, it's just never ending. I have another neighbour who I've not asked a loan for. I could ask him to borrow 20 quid. But then sometimes, like, you don't need the money, you just need to rest. And you just need the change in perspective, because even though my body wash is running out and my food, I don't have much food, I've got a home. I've got access to food and water, and I get paid in a week. So the crisis is not as bad as I think it is in the immediate. It's not as bad as I think it is, like right now, when my emotions are attached to everything. I can take a step back. But I sent a forthright message to the police. It was not nasty, but it was a big fuck you message, you stupid set of cunts. And I copied the mental health services in the 2 email addresses I have, which I think is Hads and Cypher. Well, one of them is Hads, I think the other one goes to Cypher, but I'm not sure. The email addresses I've been communicating with. And it's just like, give me my phone back. And also telling them that they made me sign a community resolution order to protect a fucking satanic murderous paedophile who anally raped me as a boy and tortured my childhood, and for my mother, who did the most horrendous things to me. So it was just like a big energy blast to the police, including the mental health services. Fuck you. And I've sent some other energy blasts to, well, I've just fucking, I've been working with or intermittently communicating with the mental health services and the police. So I've sent some energy back to them. Take my flip-flops off. I'm just so annoyed. And then I start thinking, oh, maybe I won't get the support. It's like I live in a fucking illusion. And regardless of what a person's been through, even if you've been fucking... Well, I don't know what I can compare it to that's worse than what I experienced, you know. I was thinking of someone having their legs blown off in the war, which is obviously horrendous. And I'm not sure I'd want to swap my experience for that, but there's also a strong argument for my experiences being much worse than that. Because I had my childhood stolen from me, and I was a prostitute as a child, a sex slave. I was forced to kill and eat. It was horrible. It was horrible. And then forced to rape my girlfriend in my 20s, or the system was going to kill my little brother. I'm glad I've left a lot of this content on social media, because as heavy as it could seem, it's also a stepping stone, and it's my truth. I received a SIM card through the post, which I forgot I'd ordered, because when you call the Citizens Advice for the Trussell Trust food vouchers, sometimes they have extra support that they can give you. And I've previously had a 6-month Vodafone SIM for free, and then I got another one through the post, so it was a symbol of me catching myself in a healthy way, like being here for myself. So I've got data and calls and texts, and I can use this tablet, so I can use the internet at home, which is nice because I've been coming to the university to use the Wi-Fi. And I've called Audible today to return 3 audiobooks. One of the audiobooks I ordered after I got the 3 credits back was The Salt Path. There was also a Star Wars book and like a military book. So that was a regular part of my life before I had my phone and tablet confiscated, and that this has been like one of the worst stages of my healing. And I remember working at Newbridges and seeing some patients go through a similar experience of being arrested for the same thing, because I think a lot of people send people messages when they're unwell, and then also having the phone confiscated. And I think the services put a lot of pressure on people to find out who they are. So this is like, to me it seems like it's just part of the funnel that people go through when they're unwell, until they get to like who they're going to be, which is hopefully a person who has the correct financial support in the form of personal independent payment allowance and any other financial support available, and the correct diagnosis which is, I believe, autism after having a neurodiversity assessment and CPTSD. So this whole journey, aside of my trauma and my war against the satanic murderous paedophile ring, is also connecting me with the correct structures and the correct benefits. That's my goal, and starting whole college and like moving into the new chapter of my life I'm just so fucking fed up. I think my flat would be a lot different if my neighbours moved out, but to be honest with you, I think I'd like a new start, I'd like new accommodation. It's just so horrible listening to them screaming and shouting every day, and it just makes me want to hate, it makes me want to fight. But I don't want to hate anyone, like, physically while I'm in this space. Or ever, really, unless it's in I suppose, a professional, like in a martial arts contest. And I don't want to change who I am through this pain. I want to still be kind and use my fierceness intelligently and not, like, harm anyone physically. But obviously I have a quote-unquote murderous rage within me because I was tortured and trafficked and forced to kill as a child and forced to rape my girlfriend in my 20s, or the system were going to kill my little brother. So I'm counselling myself, and I'm also, like, giving this fucking fighting with society at times, and it's difficult. So fucking difficult. So God willing, I'll have access to my regular YouTube account by September, when I start full college properly. And then I can upload a part 3 of this series of videos that is on a temporary YouTube account, where I have a photo next to a police car. I think it's this Liam Noman second arrest series of videos. Sometimes I feel like on my own, and I think when you actually become a man, you could become an adult, you realise you're on your own. That's, like, part of the gift, which feels so painful. And other times I think, well, I've probably inspired people, and some people watch my videos to check on how I'm doing, and people are fighting for me. And I spoke to Safeline today, which was nice, and I also ordered audiobooks. I have food, so I'll go home and maybe have sandwiches, pasta tomorrow, or rice. Maybe go back to the food bank. I could possibly use a new food bank. I think there's one that I haven't used, but I might just go back to the Jubilee Central. Or there could be some divine intervention as I rise, where I receive financial support and the cavalry come in to give me my care package. Because what I believe I've been through is this fucking, I don't know what to call the healing process, but I understand it intuitively, and I've seen patients go through a similar process where you're waiting for the support, and you're waiting for the diagnosis, and you're waiting for the financial support, you're waiting for the accommodation, you're waiting for the care package, you're waiting to be free from the waiting and the battering and the being with your demons, and it's just never fucking ending. So I'll just keep having faith, keep being kind to myself. I'm not sure I've had a July healing update before, but this can just be a Liam Noman healing update. Making progress, I'm fucking tired. I'll continue, and maybe the police will want to give it back to me, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll stand down. Because I stood up like Neo in the Matrix. Yeah, here I am, motherfuckers. But I don't want to be a dick to people, I don't want to be a cunt to people, but I want to let them know you can't fuck with me. There's bodies buried under my grandma's conservatory and my mother's decking, and they were part of a satanic murderous paedophile ring that stems from the murder of Lee Smack on Branzome in the 1970s. And I'm the one that stood up and said, this ends with me. I've got a fucking dodgy right eye, a dodgy right testicle, my front teeth are chipped, they tortured and sold and raped and fucking brutalised the fuck out of me, and I'm fucking fed up. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye.